Next story.
SeattleTimes.com. Zombies emerge from Great Slave Lake. Winter war rages on Undead. Jack London.
3 to 4 minutes.
Lutzelkaya, Northwest Territories. Beneath the bone-chilling grip of the Northwest Territories winter, a new horror has surfaced. The frozen expanse of Great Slave Lake, once a vibrant ecosystem, now harbors a horrifying secret, a shambling army of the undead.
The nightmare began weeks ago with the lake's inexplicable overturn, releasing a noxious cocktail of methane and anoxic gases. Villagers from Lutzelkaya and surrounding communities succumbed to the suffocating fumes and tidal surge, their bodies swallowed by the icy depths. But the lake, it seems, refused to let go.
Under the influence of the potent gases, something sinister took root. Anaerobic bacteria, thriving in the oxygen-starved environment, infiltrated the drowned villagers. These microbes, nature's morbid alchemists, replaced the victims' mitochondria, the engines of their cells, with their own, fueled by a macabre hunger for CO2.
Thus, the living dead were born. Their eyes, milky white and devoid of spark, reflect the emptiness within. Their movements, a glacial shuffle, driven by a primal urge for the breath of the living. They are no longer the villagers we knew, but something else entirely, a eerie fusion of flesh and toxic gas, driven by an insatiable hunger for warmth and life.
The first sign of their return was the stench, a putrid miasma, a mingling of decay and something altogether more fetid, wafted across the frozen landscape. Then came the screams, echoing across the ice, as the first villagers stumbled out of the lake, eyes fixed on the living with a resolute hunger.
The local survivors, hardened by the harshness of the north, fought back. Spears tipped with bone and machetes honed on desperation became their only defense against the encroaching tide of the undead. Each groan, each lurching step closer, was a terrifying reminder of the fragile line between life and death.
The Canadian military, alerted by panic's radio calls, scrambled to respond, but the unforgiving terrain and the sheer number of the risen dead hampered their efforts. Lutzelkaya, once a bustling community, became a battleground, its streets slick with the icy blood of both the living and the undead.
The winter, once a time of quiet solitude, has become a season of unending war. The sun, a pale ghost in the endless sky, offers no solace. The only warmth comes from the fires burning in the desperate hope of keeping the undead at bay.
As the battle rages, the question remains, can humanity survive this new winter? Can we hold back the tide of the undead, or will we succumb to the icy grip of a death that breathes and walks among us? The answer, as fragile and fleeting as the first breath of spring, hangs frozen in the balance.
But in the short and medium term, the situation remains hopeful. The Centers for Zombie Control and Prevention advise that the colonized villages are not contagious. Only the extreme stress of being submerged in an anoxic environment permeated with trillions of the colonizing bacteria can produce the zombie effect. Outside such a zone, the worst the zombies can inflict is a nasty bite and a mild stomach bug, said Thomas Kane, director of the CZC, and the zombies can't reproduce.
The story of Great Slave Lake is a sobering reminder of the fragility of life and the unpredictable nature of our world. It is a stark warning of the consequences of inaction in the face of environmental change, and a desperate plea for unity in the face of a foe unlike any other. The winter war on the undead may be fought on the frozen shores of a Canadian lake, but its echoes will resonate across the globe. A stark reminder that the line between life and death is sometimes just a breath away.